Jayme Stevens, we are live. How are you today?
Beezy, I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, pretty swell, man. Stoked to be here. First episode of the new potty.
I
Couldn't
know,
think,
very exciting.
yeah, couldn't think of a better person to first have on. So, what's new with you? Talk us through. What have you been up to?
Oh, well, obviously, man, it's lockdown, but I'm very fortunate to still be working. So, I'm working full time. Yeah, I've been smashing that out, really enjoying that. Obviously, very grateful to still be working, but also been in the studio a lot, which is good. I don't know, man. I've just been forcing myself to think of the positive. So I've been spending all this time trying to refine my sound. I've been trying to step into new genres. Just have fun with it, man, and take advantage of the free time we have off. And it's been good. It's been good. I've been very busy, but I'm really enjoying it. It's good, man. What are you now up to?
Definitely, yeah,
Busy?
no, that's awesome. Yeah, no, just the
Yeah.
same, just working on tunes and refining the sound. And that's interesting that you say that because I feel trying to find your signature sound and roll with that is something really important. How's the development of your
Yes.
sound been over the past few years? Because I remember it was more of an electro sort of dance
Yeah.
sound, and now as time's progressed, it's become a little bit more reformed and unique to you, which I think is something very important that a lot of producers might not take the time to do, to focus in on that sound. So
Yeah.
talk us through
Definitely,
that.
man. I don't know. As you said, when I started producing a fair while ago now, but as you know, when I was a lot younger, I still do look up to all the, I guess you could, I don't know, the electro producers. But my sound started off quite Melbourne bouncy, if you will.
Mm.
I was heavily inspired by, like, obviously Will Sparks is my number one inspiration, always has been. And I don't know, I definitely did start off with a more of a bouncy sound, and then as I grew up a bit, so I was introduced to a lot heavier and darker types of music. Like, it's a bit of a shock to some people when I tell them, but I grew up listening to like heavy metal and all that stuff. So it's very
Mm.
dark and fast, aggressive type music. So I don't know. I think when I was younger, I kind of always used to separate it. So I was like, oh well, that heavy kind of stuff's like what I listen to, and then what I'm producing is more of the electric, the dance music type stuff. And I never ever thought until the last few years to merge them. So I don't know. I guess that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. Is definitely the more aggressive, faster type music. So yeah, it's been really fun trying to experiment with bringing darker sounds and faster tempos into my productions at the moment. So as I said before, the refining of everything is just playing around with sound design and really getting like the best mixing I can out of tracks. I've been dabbling in mastering a bit, but that's quite a difficult task. But we'll get there, and that's what this time's for.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, the recent tracks you've been sending over are insane, man. Like absolutely
Been
ridiculous.
trying. Cheers, man. Yeah, no, I don't know, and that was the thing. Obviously, now is that I've been making a lot more music than I used to. Like, when I was 18, 19, I was still loved it, but I don't know. I was just a bit distracted. Hardly released any music, and I was getting frustrated. I was like, why isn't anything happening? Why are we getting no traction? I was like, well, I'm not putting in the hard yards. So that's where I've taken my inspiration from now, is that you can't force creativity, but I've been trying to. I was really dependent on motivation, and that's one thing I've learned recently, is that motivation doesn't get you places, dedication does. So I've been really forcing my dedication to come in here. Even if I don't feel like writing, I'll just come in, and if I don't get anything down, it's all right, I'll come back tomorrow. But yeah, it's been good. I've been writing a lot more music recently, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good insight into your work ethic as well. Because I feel like with you were saying that you're working a lot, trying to
Yeah.
allocate the time to get into the studio, and it's hard in like creative fields to like, you can't just like push a button and then like the Mona Lisa of techno will appear on your computer, which is so fair.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
oh, you go.
So it was, I always just use an excuse. Like if I was working, like I've been working full time for a while, I'll be like, oh, I'm working all day, or I do long hours, whatever, blah blah. They're all excuses. And what I've learned recently is that I have to use working during the day to motivate me to go. When I get home, I have time to work my music. And in the past, I have learned I've taken time off music before. Off work to focus on music, and it hasn't really worked in my favor. Like I had all this free time and I was doing nothing with it. So it's good now that I have that balance where I can work full time and really enjoy what I do, and then come home and still want to write music. So it's great.
Yeah, that's really fair. It was funny. Over the summer period, that just went. I got a part-time job at a nursery, and I frothed it personally. But the days were a bit long, and you were like sort of by yourself. And like whilst I'll just be like, what plant nursery, by the way, I'd just be working, puddling along, and I'd just find myself just constantly thinking, brother, I can understand how an individual would like to do this for their life, but me personally, my interest does not lie with plants. And I just catch myself dreaming about where I'd want to be. And like, it's just having people, listening to music that I created. So I can definitely relate back to that in the flip side of where I'd be there, and I'd be like, I really, this was not for me.
No, but that's the thing. I don't know. I got distracted like a couple of years ago. I was doing apprenticeship, and I enjoyed the work, but I didn't. I got, as I said, I was like, I don't know. I went off track a bit. And I came back. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I could be using this time that I'm complaining and whinging about nothing's happening, where I could actually do something. And now I'm in a different field. I'm in the marine industry. I've never really shown interest in it, but the people I work with are now my close mates, and I love it. They're very driven people. So, and that's the thing I've learned this recently, is that the people you surround yourself with is a projection of who you'll be. So I hang around motivated people, and I'm starting to become more motivated and driven. So it's great.
Definitely, yeah. I couldn't agree more. Like the circle that you surround yourself with sort of like mirrors your thoughts and beliefs as well. Because you and I have spoken about this before, but we don't mind a bit of the law of attraction, do we, brother?
No, it's quite funny you say that. You are the one person who introduced me to it. And as soon as you introduced me to it, I was like, Ben, you're off your head. What are you talking about? You're in fairytale land. But slowly trying to bring it into my life, man. It's unreal. It's just positive thinking, and all that stuff it just changes a lot. So I got to thank you for that. You introduced me to it, man, and I appreciate it.
What a great man. It's so true. I'm glad to hear that that's been able to help in your work ethic and making music. Yeah, definitely. Because when I first heard about it, it was from a lovely lady named Amalia Foy. And she told me about it, and I thought this was great. And then I watched this thing called The Secret. It was great. And I read some books from the Self-Development Guru, the one that you're reading now.
Yeah.
Jim Rohn, great motivational speaker. And just learning more about it. And a lot of people, I feel like, are on the fence about it, which is fair, because off the bat, it's like, I don't know, like
crazy talk.
Yeah, you're like, I can get something without putting in the work. And I don't feel like that's really it. I feel like it's just focusing exactly in on what you want and being so like precise about it and like thinking about it, that you like sort of just turn on this part in your brain. You're like, okay,
that was the thing that kind of it changed it all for me. Was it's not like that's what I got it all wrong. I was like, oh, if I just think these things will happen, that's bullshit. You have to act, and that's what I've been trying to implement recently. Is just, if you want something, just act on it. Don't just think about it. Don't dwell on it. Just act on it, and crazy stuff happens when you actually get off your ass and do something. So like I'm no master at it, but I'm slowly getting there. So it's good.
Brother, you are smashing it. Those tunes that you've been sending, So crazy. Such like a signature sound. And then just when I think I've sort of like know the track at the final end of it, there's that cheeky vocal, man, and it just knocks me for
I
six.
don't know what. Yeah. I don't know. Like you kind of said, I just love just changing. Like I don't get me wrong. If some track has like you can hear from the start and it just plays through. I love that. But I always find if I try to make a different genre or something, or I try to go a bit of like a euphoric kind of style, it always ends up coming back to some sort of like, I don't know, like single bass line, just like a really heavy and dark driven track, and which is cool. Like I used to love writing chords. Like I was writing a bit of trance stuff a few years ago. Well, I used to call it trance. I don't know what it was, but it's really euphoric and it had lots of chord progressions. And that's the thing of the last like year and a half. I haven't really written that much, like more chord progression. But that's the thing I realized. I'm like, why am I limiting myself? Like I don't know. I really want to push towards one genre, and then I end up just breaking all the laws of it. So I'm just like, I just write whatever now. So whatever sounds cool and whatever I want to write, I just put it down.
Yeah, definitely. What's the favorite track you've ever made? Big question.
It is a big question. I don't know, man. Half the time I end up hating them, like everyone, but I really like this track I've been working on at the moment that I sent you the other day. That, I don't know, I think that usually if I get an idea, it either takes 4 to 6 months, or I hear people say that like it's either done in 6 months or it's on a day. Like I don't really have that short time thing. Like I never have made maybe like years and years ago. But like I always make a track, and it's whether I come back to it consistently or I just drop it. So this song's I've been working on it for probably 3 weeks, which doesn't seem like a long time, but when you go in there on the project every day and I change one thing and then go, okay, that's it, and then I'm happy with it, then I'll listen to it again in my car and I need to change this. So I think this track, I haven't really got a name for it yet, but I'm really proud of this track. So I don't know what, I don't have any plans for it just as yet, but I'm really excited to get it out and see what people hate it or they like it. So yeah, it's exciting.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's a track. As I said, it relates back to your signature sound. It's so good. And yeah, every single time it's sort of like you're one-upping it, which is so, so awesome.
Yeah. Thanks,
definitely.
Man.
So with the year almost coming to a close, can we expect anything new from you, man? What's coming up in the pipeline this year, next year?
You know what, man? Pretty much exactly what I've just said. More music. So as relating back to what I said, when I was, in my late teens, 18, 19, I was so focused on, I wouldn't even say so focused. Like I was doing my gigs. I was on my, weekly, every second week gigs, and I loved it. Like I absolutely love DJing more than anything. But that's all I was doing. Like I was just going, oh, I've got a gig this week, sick. So I'm going to go there, and then like that's my music done for the week. And it was just like I wasn't in the studio, I wasn't making music, and I was kind of content with just DJing. So now
just gigs,
it's completely shifted it. It's like there's no gigs. So what you mean? I didn't have a laptop for like a few months ago, and I lost my mind. I thought, no, it was longer than that. I was like, this sucks. I can't DJ. I can't even make music. So as soon as I got this laptop, shout out to the boys from work. They actually bought me it. Forever grateful for that. I love them boys.
Talk us through that for a second. Losing your laptop. Like, what was that like? What happened? And then the boys buying it.
Yeah, so I bought a secondhand, like refurbished Mac, like I don't know, it was in year 12, so probably I don't know how long ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to think about how long ago it was. Yeah, and I bought that and it was sick, and because I switched from, I had a Acer or something, I don't know, I had a PC. So I switched from Mac, and then I was instantly hooked on that. So I used that. Yeah, I used that laptop. It was like a 2013 up until probably 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so it was kind of, I learned the hard way. I have a hard drive, but I didn't really back anything up, and I was lazy with it. And yeah, I woke up one morning. I think I was trying to go to sleep, and I heard like this really, it was buzzing. I'm like, that's not good. I opened it up, and yeah, it basically shit itself. So I tried everything. Like I've got like 3 different opinions from text to try and retrieve all the information, and all of them were pretty much like, get a new laptop. That's your only option.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty, and it was, it was in the midst of COVID, man, and I was on and off with work. I was struggling a bit. So, and yeah, the boys from work, as I said, Tom and Christian, I can't thank them enough. They surprised me with a brand new laptop.
Legends.
So I was still speechless, like, man, you can't really, I don't know what to say in those things. Like, I still use it for work every now and then, but it's like, they're the type of people that they don't just go around buying shit for everyone. Like, they see that I have a passion, and they see that I know they have a passion, and we support each other, and yeah, it's great. So
definitely.
Yeah, no, it's pretty surreal, but I love this thing. Like, I'm on it every single day. What was the first question again?
You're so funny. Just relating back to your
the music. Yeah. So that's in conclusion, just getting out as much music as I can and trying to become the best producer I can be.
Definitely. That's awesome,
and
man.
Obviously, I'm saying until we open up, like, I cannot wait to get out there and meet new people and listen to some hectic music, and yeah, just get back into nightlife. I love it and I miss it heaps. So the best thing is here, sitting in the studio and making music.
Definitely. That's so true. I remember searching online for the best advice and like interviews from producers. Have you done that before? We've like searched up some people that you look up to in any industry, I guess, just trying to find like advice from them.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm obsessed with, doing like behind the scenes, just like in the studio with someone. So like, it doesn't even have to be a DJ, like bands, audio engineers. Like, I love seeing, and also track breakdowns. Have you seen Genius?
Yeah, like
on
rap
YouTube?
music. Yeah, so
like,
good.
That's so like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I love rap music and all that, but like, I listen to the tracks. I'm like, dude, these are so simple, but they sound so complex with the lyrics and everything. So you call it how they break down. But I love the one that you put me onto the other day, doing a Salsa. That track breakdown was wicked. Like, just I love seeing them at work. It's really cool. They learn new things and tutorials, man. Like, I don't want to sound ignorant, but like, when I first started, I was so out of the loop. Like, I didn't really watch any tutorials that much.
Definitely. I was
kind of just I started on FL Studio and then went to Ableton. So I was just, for months, I was just playing around. I was like, hopefully this works. But recently I've been listening to, watching tutorials. Like, you still, like, I'm no god. Like, I still learn shit every single day. So that's the thing. Doesn't matter where you are first started. If you've been producing for 20 years, like, you're still going to learn something new every day.
Definitely, man. And what age did you start producing, and what first got you into wanting to start in this industry?
I think when I started producing, I was like 14 and a half. Yeah, around 14, 15. When I was like year 8 or something. Yeah, so I was like 13, 14. I broke my leg. Was in a massive, like, a full leg cast for ages. So it was in the summer. Everyone else was having fun. I was at home with a broken leg, so I was sick. So I had nothing else better to do, man. So I think for my birthday or Christmas, I wanted to get some decks, just like a little controller to play around on. And I ended up getting that, and I was like, this is unreal. And I was hooked straight away. I was doing it every single day. And then I was like, you know what? Like, at that point, I was listening to Will Sparks, Uber Jack, Joel Fletcher, all of them, flat out at school.
Yeah.
At home on the weekends with my headphones. So I was like, how do they do it? And then I found out, I can't remember how, but I was just looking around and I found FL Studio. I'm like, yeah, cool. Ended up doing the trial, and then I think I paid for that.
I think everyone starts on FL Studio, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, but it was just so easy. Like I was reading all these blogs and stuff. I was like, what's the best? And pretty much said the easiest. Oh, yeah, man, I'm gonna be like they said the easiest and most simple way to start is FL Studio. So I was like, cool, done, started it.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then same thing, man. I was just hooked from the day I got it, and then was writing music on it every day. Terrible, like absolutely terrible music. But yeah, and then I don't remember how long after I released the track, but I think I just started doing like vocal edits, like in music class, man, with Audacity. Like,
that's what
me and my
did.
mates would. Yeah, I think heaps of people do that, man. Like me and my mates would just do it, and then that's right. I remember we were in class one time and we were just doing it, and one of my mates, so we'd do it in class and then show everyone like, what'd you make? And one of my friends did one, and I was like, fuck, this is way better than mine. And I was like, oh, I'm not letting that happen. So since then, I was like, and then I'd practice every night, and then I'd come to school and go, oh, look at this, mine's better than yours now. So I don't know, that was kind of the thing for me. I was like, I think at that point I was like, all right, music's pretty sick. So I think that's where it kind of, because I didn't like school, man, and I didn't really do that well, but just music was, I think from that point I was like, all right, this is more than just making edits on my computer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's
cool.
good. So you had the bit of competitive nature with your mate in class, and that sort of made you realize, hey, not only am I going to be better than you, I'm going to see this through. And dude, young Jayme, seeing your productions now, man, he'd be so impressed. I got this good advice from Amalia, actually, and she said to me, Ben, when he was 16, would be absolutely gobsmacked at what you can do now. Not saying that I'm a good, crazy producer, but I could not wrap my head around any of it to save my life. I remember it was 2019, so first year out of school, and I really wanted to start using Ableton, but I do like $700-$800. Fair bit of dosh, man. I
didn't buy it the first time.
Worst bloke.
I bought it this time.
Good man. I'm sure everyone sort of starts off with that, but I guess they're cracking down on it.
I was like 14. I didn't have any money.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was 19. And I couldn't figure it out. So then I started using Audacity at 18.
Yeah.
And I actually, like, I'm all for people hating the first stuff that they made. Brother, some of those edits that I made on Audacity, I found like an old USB and I sussed them out not too long ago. They slapped, man. like they were pretty creative. Like, if there was ever a I just got a call. I don't know who that was from, but anyway.
I think I remember hearing like one of your, I don't know. I think I might have. I think Joel might have showed me one of them. Definitely. And I don't know. I think I do. But I hated it. Like the latest, I don't know. I found when my laptop died, I found my hard drive, and I was like, I went through it and I found edit like songs from like 2014 or something. I was like, this sucks.
Dude, that's so true. Yeah. You have those moments. But the vocals that I would put into the projects, brother, they were so out of time, it was laughable. Because I never had any formal music. No, like, brother, I did not have any formal music training, which isn't an excuse. But like, I remember there was this like tech house track, which was a bop. And then the Free Nate, free acapella was goes, 'cause you're free. Anyway, it's a banger. And I lined it up, and then I exported all these different acapellas. And I remember I was driving with my friend Callum Taylor, the man. Shout out,
Cal.
Shout out the man.
My haters on him so hot.
Yeah. Anyway.
Shout out, Cal. Yeah.
Shout out, Cal. We were driving to Bundura to look at a car for man. Rest in peace, the first commie, brother. Um, and like I was playing them. And he wasn't saying anything. Like I was frothing. I was like, "This is sick," and he wasn't saying anything. And then I was like, "So what do you think?" And he's just like, "Brother," he was like, "Oh, I think it's just a little bit out of time." And then it was so funny. And now I look back at them, appalling, absolutely. But the ones that were just like chopped up, and then it went into like a cheesy as drop of like a hot track at that time.
Yeah.
It holds up.
I remember your intros when you first started playing at Cruise.
Yeah, and Motley as well.
Bohemian Rhapsody or something. Motley, yeah. They're slappers, man.
They were.
I remember DJ next to you. I'm like, this is so out of time, but everyone loves it, man. I'm like, this is wicked.
Yeah, it's so funny. You'd been so angry. You'd been so angry.
I was like, because we you know, like we knew each other back then. We weren't as close. I was like, I can't just tap him on the shoulder like, Ben. It doesn't sound right, man. But everyone was dancing. I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah, because my first overage gig, shout out Motley Thursdays at the Deck. You and I versed one another from 12 to 1. That was so funny, man. Because do you remember what happened when we first got there and like how nervous I was?
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Brother. Yeah, because we're at yours and then we got a lift with someone. And then we got there and then we got up the stairs and it was getting closer to 12 and I was so like
I'm like, man, are you all right? Like you'll be fun. Like it's not even that like you know, you'll be sweet, man. I was nervous as well, but I was like, I can't act nervous because then we'll freak out even more. Because it was our first time we played there as well, I think. Oh,
that was the first time I played there because I just turned 18.
Yeah, because I'm no Wolf Sparks. Like I'm shooting myself. Like I think it was busy as, and I was like, I got that confident for Ben, like because he's obviously a bit nervous, and then. I was like, "You're right. Yeah. You don't look too well,
brother." I was white. Because I've DJ'd a handful of house parties and grouse time in our lives. I don't know what it was because even after that, before any single gig that was like big, I would just honestly, I don't even want to pin it down to nerves because I was like, I prepared my Audacity out of time vocal edits. Like I was ready to hit the curb, brother. Like I knew I could do it and it'd be fun, and I had heaps of like friends there to like get around. It was going to be wonderful. But I just still got those weird like, and I was like, okay. And so then it was like 5 minutes before our set, and then I was like. We were talking. I was like, 1 second. I'll walk into the bathroom. Yeah. The bathroom's packed. Keep in mind, I haven't had a drink all night. I'm dead sober. Yeah. And I walk, like, I go to the cubicle, and like the cubicle's like both full. It's like pretty packed, and I need to vomit. I'm like getting so queasy. I'm not nervous. I just don't feel great. Yeah. And then like the sink is right there. I felt so bad, man. I vomit straight into the sink, and like, I feel so like just. Getting all out, so nervous. Oh. And then this guy's like next to me, he's absolutely blind. He's like, bro, are you all right? And then you come in, brother. No. You come in.
Yeah.
Tell us what you did for me.
I don't remember what I did. I think I have a rough idea.
Yeah, go for it and I'll correct if you're wrong.
Did I try and like get on your same level just for like mutual respect?
Dude, you vomited in the urinal. Yeah. You started like just vomiting.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't let Beezy vomit by himself. And he was like, because both the cubicles are full. Brother, that was so good.
That's
it's so good, man.
Like you got to do it for the boys every now and then. Someone's a man down. You got to help them.
Definitely. Disclaimer: after our set, we helped clean up. Just for a disclaimer for the people that work in hospitality that would be gutted by that. But yeah, then we went on, had the set. You played the first 2 songs, I believe, because I had never used the CDJ in my life.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, brother, now it's your turn. And just felt right, brother. Chose one of my Audacity edits. It was Living on a Prayer a cappella by Bon Jovi.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a vibe into like this edit that I did with this tech house tune called Octopussy, believe it or not. Absolute banger. And then because I used to use I just like absolutely rinsed the reverb into it to transition out and then went into it and it was the best feeling. That was such
a my ears,
yeah. It was
that was so much fun, man. I missed that joint. That was so fun.
Yeah, it's it. I reckon Motley Thursdays, GOAT. Absolute GOAT, man.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they bring those back. I've never been to a Sunday session because I'm a baby, but
yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, and then the Mega Motleys were good as well. Those are frothed.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. Did we ever play in the Smokers together?
Think so.
It's on the cards.
I remember. We did.
Really?
Maybe.
Did you ever play in this?
It's not great. I'm just realizing this. I did once. Yeah, I did once. Yeah, that was fun. It was nice to get out of the silent disco.
Yeah.
Just quietly, but hey, I can't, like, as I said, man, I don't care where it is where I'm playing. I just love DJing, and I don't think I'm better than anyone. So I don't know. I just love it. That's what I miss so much. Now I'm realizing now we're talking about I miss playing so much.
Definitely, yeah. It's such a great feeling, isn't it, man? I remember when I was playing at the Smokers, just before I was opening up the Smokers at one of the big Motleys, which is those who don't know, it's a popping off club night on the Mornington Peninsula where we reside. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
And I was opening up the Smokers for the first hour, and I remember I drove there and I was trying to find a car park because I usually drive to most of my gigs because I'm a cheapskate. I don't pay for an Uber.
I definitely don't.
You definitely don't.
Yeah.
So and brother, the underground car park at 21st Century, the worst architectural design ever. Do you remember this?
I don't know. I think I've heard the story.
Yeah, no, anyway, long story short, went in with the commie trying to find like a car park, man. And like the pillars are so close to the wall.
Yeah, that's so good. I remember that.
And I'm driving around and I barely missed like the yellow like pole. And then I'm like, oh, brother, I'm going to go around again to try like find another one. Second time, not so lucky. As I'm driving, just... And it wasn't even like a little scratch, man. That stuff was like $1,300 on insurance claim. Anyway, the moral of the story. Parked the car behind the deck, ran over, opened up the Smokers, man. The most bomb.com set I've ever played. It was so much fun. I was playing like disco, house, and then the guy after me didn't show up, so I got to play for like an extra hour. And I was playing music that I loved, and everyone was going off. The dance floor was so tight, and I didn't care at my car door because I had a fun night. And
man.
I hid it from my parents for like 2 weeks, parking in the corner of the front lawn, and then my dad was mowing the lawn. He's like, Ben, brother, what happened? Yeah, and I used my $50 I got paid from Motley that night to pay it off, brother. So that was all well and good. But yeah, it's such good times, man. What's some of your favorite gigs that you've done? Doesn't even have to be overage. It could be like one of the atrium parties, big man.
Like the what underage ones?
Anything, man. Remember the parties at the country club with Joel and I? Those were tight.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
First one that comes to mind.
I think headlining at the old Publican.
Defo.
Like not because I headlining, but like I played a really good set time. And this was
what time?
Yeah, I think it was 12 to 1 or 1 till 2. Either one of those.
Good time.
And they're always the most fun. But just one specific night, man. It was I don't know. It had to be in a summer or something. It was in 2019, I believe. I don't know what sticks out about it, man. Like it was just, I don't know, because a lot of my previous gigs I've always played, not necessarily like not what I don't want to play, but I've always not very forced, but I was playing what people want to hear, not what they really what they think they want to hear. Yeah. So I was
definitely.
and I remember I was like, what have I got to lose? Like, if I fuck this up, like, it's all right, I'll come back and I'll build my way up again. And I was like, I just want to, because I used to start off with obviously like a really well-known song, like the pop song at the time with a beat behind it, something harder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it differs for everyone, but I was like, you know what, I really just want to, this set, I just want to play what I want to play. And I wasn't versing anyone, which is great because I love like DJing by myself. It's like, I don't have to stress about, And like I never plan any sets or anything. I have a playlist, obviously, but like I don't plan songs or keys. Like props to you if you do that, but I don't know. I change my mind every 3 seconds. I'm like, no, I'm playing this, no, no.
Yeah,
so anyway, I played it, and I played I think I opened with one of my new songs at the time, Demon, which was was one of the first tracks that was like my heavy metal influence.
It's on SoundCloud, folks.
I was like,
suss it out. Damon,
it's a couple
Jayme
years old.
Banger.
It's a couple years old now, but I had heaps of fun writing that. And I was like, you know what? I was going to start with the pop track, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. What have I got to lose? Played it, and the response was sick. Like, as soon as the guitar came in, I was like, people were like filming me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why? Sorry, it's a bad habit. I was like, why are people doing this? It was so cool. And then, the response was unreal, man. That's what I mean. That's the best feeling, playing your music and people reacting to it in a good way, hopefully. But that was definitely the standout. Just playing what I want to play, A, and B, playing my music and having a response from it is the best feeling ever.
Definitely, yeah, because it's brother, it's from what you were just saying, that would have been such a tight feeling, opening with something that got a reaction the same as like a super generic song would have gotten. And there's no disrespect of playing like Sexy Bitch by David Guetta. It's a track. Not my cup of tea personally, but that goes off at sort of commercial clubs. But
party DJs slap, like they get heaps. Like everyone loves it, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're there.
They do it great. Awesome. They do it so good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
But
know how to read the room. That's what they're good at it, and I respect it. It's unreal.
Definitely, yeah. So the fact that at a place where the majority of patrons go expecting sort of that commercial sound, which they love, and to be able to like serve them up something they weren't expecting it to go off. And vodka probably played a big part in their reaction.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
But still, they frothed it, and that just shows that your mixing was dope, your sound design was dope, and because there's so many things that goes in to making a track that like it's pretty hard, don't you think? It's pretty, it's not that easy.
It is very hard.
Like, because you have to, you have to pick like the right ingredients, like bass, kick, and then you got to like lay them out in a way that you feel represents what you're trying to get across. And then once you've got all of that done, brother, the fun of mixing down a track, so difficult. When you're first starting out, it's like you like sort of don't really understand. Like obviously as you go on, it gets easier and you learn more. And that's just with anything. Like you just get better at it continuously. Yeah.
You get more experimental. Is that the word? Yeah, you just get more creative, man. Like I don't know. Yeah, like people. I sound like you know what I mean. If someone asks me, "Hey, can I have some advice for feedback?" in my head, I'm like, why are you asking me? Like, you mean really? I'm like, there's way better producers out there. But yeah, it's awesome to hear that kind of stuff. But we spoke about it the other day. It was like, some people write the track, get the creative sound design stuff down, and then focus on the mix down. So, and that's when when like you said to me, I was like, oh, is it mixed yet? I'd be like, well, I've kind of done 85, 90% of the mix as I've gone, and then like for that track that we were talking about earlier, I've just gone back into the project. I'll probably have a look, later tonight, just go over it, and obviously, and that's the thing that I need to learn is that it's never going to be perfect, because that's what I try to aim for, like quality over quantity, but it doesn't work when you don't put anything out. You know what I mean? So I was like, I need to get to a point with this track and every other track I write is that I'm happy with it. And then obviously when I export it and listen to it in the car, I'm like, oh, that's in. But if I do that, the track will never get released, and then I'll just get angry. So I'm like, I feel like I'm finding a point with my music where I get to a point in the mix and the master. I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm happy with this. Move on.
Definitely, yeah, that's so fair. And just for people who aren't sure exactly what we're talking about, with music tech, usually there's the creation of the song, and then after that there's the mix down process, which is usually just balancing the faders and making space for everything in the mix, and like tightening things up or like dialing things back and just getting it sounding as good as possible. And that's the second stage. And then the final stage is mastering, which is just making it sound good on every single different system, like a UE boom,
making it sound fat.
Yes, brother. And you do some of your own mastering. I personally prefer to delegate it to engineer.
Professionals, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not me, yeah.
So funny. My EP that just came out, little plug, brother. Beezy Showcase Volume 1. Very proud of that project. I got too kind, brother.
Unreal,
King. I got it mastered by a guy named Wayne at Satur. Mastering, I believe it's called. His name's Wayne Sutherland, and he's so good. A lot of people in the industry use him, like Dom Dollar, Willers K. The list goes on. Top bloke. So basically, 3 stages: writing, mixing, and then mastering, which I send off because I don't even have a clue.
No, I don't really.
Yeah, definitely. But it's good, man. It sounds like you got a really good wrap on things. It's very, very exciting. Would you give any advice to people that are trying to start out with producing?
Just give it a go.
Give it a go.
I don't know. Figure out. Yeah, I think it's a new idea. Figure out what you want to make. And like when I first started making music, I was like, okay, I want to make like EDM type stuff. Like that's what was cool. Like that's what I was listening to back in the day. EDM and like Melbourne bounce. I want to make this. So I started learning how to make that. I started getting all the kicks, all the bass lines, all the synths, like all the sample packs, all the VSTs that I saw all my favorite producers were using. Obviously, how many years later now, my sound is completely changed to something else. So I feel like if you want to do hip hop, like trap beats and drill beats and stuff, there's heaps of videos, man. Just watch them. That's what I never really took advantage of. Watch them, man. It's so good. There's so many good videos out there. Do that, and who knows? You might end up making drum and bass. You might end up making, I don't know, hard
just getting started. Yeah.
So just don't. I feel like don't. Yeah. Kind of figure out what you want and work towards that, and naturally things will change. Like who knows? Like you still might. Like you probably will if you want to make rap beats, you'll probably end up making rap beats. But yes, I think I've never really thought about it like that, but that's kind of what I've realized is that you have to have a Yeah, yeah. I don't know, because I feel like if I started again, or if, in a different word, I was like, I want to make music, and you just try to make music, it just, I feel like it just would go nowhere. You just be doing circles, but
Yeah,
and
exactly.
also having inspiration is such a like that's what was my main, my main inspiration again. But listening to the music I did every day has influenced what I make today. Like heavy metal music, hip hop, like rap, hard style. I love hard style, so I try to influence a little bit. So it's like everything you listen to is going to end up. It's just in your brain. It's what you listen to, and yeah, just take influence from different things. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going in circles with this, but
No,
just
you're
give it a
good.
crack.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
So in a summary,
Ask your mates. Reach out to people. Like I was so annoying when I first started. Like I just hit up all these SoundCloud DJs. I'm like, hey, can you listen to this? Can you tell me what's and half of them would just leave it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just do it again. That's the thing I need to learn now. I need to keep doing that. Like I message all my friends I have. I know, like I message you. You'll help me out all the time. Like I'm not anywhere near where I want to be with my producing. Like I'm no hero or anything. So I'm still at the level. Like I've been making music for years, and I'm still like, well, that sounds shit. No, that doesn't sound as good as I wanted to. But just reach out. Help me, man.
Yeah, definitely. So
I'm running out of what to say, but do it. Just do it.
You're so good. So yeah, in sort of summary, you'd
no motivational speaker over here, but yeah.
You're great, brother. So really just getting started and then just trying to like put what's in here onto there, because I feel like from what you were saying,
that's what making music is.
Yeah, definitely. Like it can seem a bit of a treacherous feat at first, because you're sort of like, oh, how am I going to make a track like Dennis Salter or Sparksy, as you were saying, or Martin Garrix, or I guess if you're looking at rap like Metro Boomin, like, and I feel like a valuable thing from what you were just saying is taking it one step at a time, like one step at a time. So first off, as you were saying before, watch YouTube videos, get feedback, start on Audacity if you can't afford well, you can get a free trial of Ableton FL. But for example, just starting making easy time vocal edits, and then just progressing through that and summoning all the music that you're listening to. Because you were saying heavy metal influences, bang, that Demon track that you played at the club, brother, that went off. Heavy metal influences. It all comes together, which is what's so pure and beautiful about music. It's grass, man. So,
it's unreal. Yeah.
You're on the ball there, man. I think
I was trying to.
I think we're doing good for time. I don't even know where we can check it, but
I don't remember what time we started.
Man, time flies when you're having time flies when you're having fun,
isn't
brother.
It?
That's so good. So
indeed, Beezy, indeed, mate.
Before we wrap this on up, is there anything else you wanted to let people know, what you wanted to say, and also where can people find you, man? Like what's your SoundCloud, socials, stuff like that?
Pretty simple. My SoundCloud is just my name, Jayme Stevens.
Banging name.
Spotify, slowly starting to build up my Spotify. I've only got one new song on there, Afterlife, that was released on the 20th.
Yeah.
But before that, there was really old music. Don't listen to it, sucks. But yeah, listen to Afterlife. That was my most recent release on the new Melbourne techno label Respire Recordings. Those boys are unreal, and the rest of all the tracks on the album are ridiculous. Now, that's another thing I forgot to say. I'm so grateful to be on that, because I listen to the tunes on there, and some of the guys in there are ridiculously good producers. So to have one of my songs alongside them is really, it's such a great feeling. So go listen to the album, VA01. My Spotify's quite empty at the moment, but in the future I'm going to be adding heaps of new stuff on there. I've got heaps of music on SoundCloud.
Definitely.
Instagram's pretty boring. Jayme Stevens 1. Just have a look at that. Have a look at my ugly mug. I post stuff, new tracks and stuff on my story and all that in the studio. Yeah. And I want to shout out Beezy Showcase. Everyone go listen to part 1. Unreal. It's only the start. I guarantee you I've heard a lot of the tracks coming soon and they are ridiculous. So good work on that, man. And everyone go stream it, buy it on Bandcamp, all the good stuff.
What a man. Jayme Stevens, everybody. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for that plug at the end.
Having me. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
You're an absolute national treasure. We are very lucky to have you, my man. And your insights have been so great, talking about your humble beginnings, a broken-legged 14-year-old starting off on the old FL studio, vocal edits in the classroom, and now, as the years progress, developing the sound, getting those influences in, and also defining your work ethic. And look where we are now. You'd be that 14-year-old little boy would be so chuffed, man. Like, your productions are crazy. Your sets are mint. You're pretty good looking. Like, he would be chuffed. He'd be chuffed, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. You got to look back every now and then, but I've got a long way to go.
Definitely. Don't we all, brother? But as they say, one step
a day
at a time, brother. Yes. Great.
That. I thought you were going to say like 1% every day. Every 100 days is 100% or something like that. Yeah, just one up. Yeah, maybe.
Get your own podcast, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on, brother. It's been real. I'll have to talk to you again soon.
Okay, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you, big man. Okay. All right. Stay real, brother. Talk to you soon.
You too, brother. Watch Beezy Showcase.